Blog Talk Radio.
Till tramp and paralyze Babylon. That's how you antagonize Babylon. Till tramp and paralyze Babylon. Rise back in and it's so brighten. Okay, bullet no turn back. The one of them afraid that gunshot. Put up for them, rougher than the one of them way that come shot. Bullet no turn back. Police afraid that gunshot. Alright. They get to use their turn. God killer, that be the thriller. Shoot slave master, it's a map of them pillar. Some rock stick on the views and lock down the scheme on the pillar. People will come see ya. Bull up the bank and we burn no dirty nigga. Burn Babel and them is a nasty dirty trigger. Instead of say I die, man, the mighty life river. Every morning, salon to be down a river. Because I bring the jump prophecy fulfill ya. Babylon the trial, Rastafari, I bill ya. You to bust them pistol, barrel, spin like windmill ya. Magazine, me wanna know that I refill ya. I saw me tell you, bullet no done back, police afraid of gunshot. We talk for them, run for them, the one of them way I come chat. Bullet no done back, the one of them afraid of gunshot. Alright, gotta be happy. Kill swamp and paralyze Babylon. Get a youth to antagonize Babylon. Kill swamp and paralyze. You see Babylon, them off the dead body.
Yo, it's another day in Black America. It's your man Rasta B. The call-in number is 213. No, excuse me. The call-in number is 646-716-4654. Again, that's 646-716-4654. The topic today, now that I'm conscious, should I stop working for the white man? And, I'm waiting for my co-host to call in, Smoke, and when he do, then he will. So what's really going on, what we're talking about today is a lot of times black people get into the knowledge and sometimes we bug out, Sometimes we act like we don't know how to operate within society no longer now that we have knowledge of self. Let me have my co-host introduce himself again. Smoke, you here?
Yeah, I'm here, man. Smoke was back. I was on mute for a long time though.
Oh yeah, I was restarting the page, you know what I'm saying? Tell you the truth, I wasn't even sure was I being heard or was I on mute.
Yeah, because I'm talking in between every time you stop. I'm like, oh, this guy don't
Yeah.
That's what's up though. We
try to get these things taken care of, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning.
You know how it is.
Yeah. So that's something else. Yeah, but I was just basically saying that a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, black people get caught up, get into knowledge, and then they bug out. You know what I'm saying? Now they don't know how to act around white people. Now, I understand I'm an original black man, I'm an original black woman, and what these white devil crackers did to my people. Now, I can't take orders from them. I ain't trying to work for these devils no more. Then we quit. And it's like, nah, we can't. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got to address that because there's people out there that don't know. There's people out there that really wants to know how do I handle that? How do I handle being in the loop of the information? Basically, how do I be that spook that sat behind the door?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when when you come into like some sort of consciousness or whatever, especially black consciousness, you become rebellious. You start finding out information, maybe about slavery or your ancient history as kings and queens, whatever it is that you're going into. But I know for myself, it's like I first started discovering different things. People showing me, different books. It's like you become rebellious, but people get stuck in that mode. And so
Yeah. Smoke.
Yo. Hello? Yeah.
Yeah. For whatever reason, like, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but that joint just dropped off. But yeah, what I was just gonna say, we get stuck in that rebellious mode. A lot of times, when consciousness is about transcendent, just continuing to refine yourself and continuing to discover ways to make yourself better, make your mind sharper. But a lot of us get stuck in just that rebellious mode. Thus, you see, people wanting to like quit their jobs and just like you said earlier, just they don't know how to act around, different people. So I just think a lot of that has to do with just being rebellious. But, that's just like the beginning stage when you start, coming into consciousness, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it is the beginning stage, because now you got that shock, because you may not have been taught your history, who you are as a black person, as a black woman, what these institutions are, why they're in place, how they affect you, the tricks, the deliberateness, the subtleness. Maybe you're not aware of these things, then when you find it out, it shocks you, so it's like you really don't know how to interact with people. But just like yesterday's show with yesterday's caller, you can't stop competing. So even if you're working and you're a brother or sister with knowledge of self and you're working in the so-called white man's job force, all you have to do is continuously just do your job. Because everything you're doing has everything to do with the job. Meaning, if you brown nose or you work your way up to a certain level of position, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever these little terms and stuff, those are called job politics. That's not race politics. So you're not doing nothing against your race. You still have the knowledge. You still have the insight. You're a conscious black man or conscious black woman within a racist white economic job front. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you go inside there, you understand what it is. When certain things happen, you're not going to react off it because you understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you're still going to move. You're not going to sit there. You're not going to be a coward, and you're not going to and complain because things ain't going your way. You're going to fight because you understand that nothing's going to come easy to you because you're a black person. Okay, so we understand that. Now, let's fight on, move on. Let's work, take care of our families. Let's stack this bread, stack the money, invest it, flip it in our community. Well, how do you flip it in your community, Rasta B? Well, what you do is you take the money and then you say, I'm going to buy property. If you don't got enough money to buy property, what you say is, you know what I'm going to do? I want to get a business license. And this money I got stacked up, I'm going to use that to buy inventory so I can sell things online. You got to use your head, use your brain. But what you can't do is keep playing victim and dwelling on what you can't do and what ain't going to work. Whatever can't, you see what I'm saying? You can figure out how to make it a can. And whatever is difficult, you got to figure out how to get over that hurdle. Because once you do that, everything that you want is right there for you. So are you going to give up because it's too tough? Or are you going to fight because you understand that you have to, everybody have to fight for this? For you to sit there and say to yourself, yo, this man got it easy. Oh, the white man gets it easy. The Chinese man got it easy. The East Indian man got it easy. First of all, you don't know how they got it. Your defeatist mentality, you know what I'm saying? The defeatist mentality is what got you thinking that somebody else got it easy, because you looking at them in their where business is moving correctly. You don't know what they went through in the beginning.
I mean, our problem, I think, with like working in white society, so to speak, you know what I mean, would be like what we're doing with the proceeds of it. So, right. I mean, like you said, going in there buying properties and doing different things like that. It's like we work for white institutions. We build them up with our work, with our overtime. There's always an attendance schedule. You got to be there a certain amount of days. You can't, in order for you to keep your job, you got to work hard. But then when you get your check, it's not being invested into anything that's ours. So I think that's like one of the biggest issues of it. You work hard all week. You come in, you spend your money at Family Dollar. You spend it at Walmart. You buy, gas for your car. You pay electricity. You pay your rent, who is probably like a white landlord. So it's like, you help build up a white institution, then you go back and pay the same white institution for your money. It's just almost like, it's like you're not getting any insight. So, everybody's not going to be a business owner. Right? Some people just like to work. So, I mean, it's not a problem with that. But if they're coming home and they're buying, toilet paper from black manufacturers, you buying, your healthcare products, like your, like all your herbs. You got a black-owned business, something like sacredroots.com. You know what I mean? You could just go buy your stuff and sending it back. You're investing back into people that looks like you. So I think that's probably one of the biggest issues of us working in white society, is that we don't have the proper mind frame or plan to really, to what we're going to do with the money. And so it's just like, we're just like the battery, so to speak, for white society. We just charge it up. The money we end up making, we put back into it. It's like double the help, man, while our community suffer. So we have to have a mind frame or a plan of action to where, we start investing back in and creating the institutions that we can invest into, that, are going to help our people, that are owned by our people in our community, that are employing our people. So I think that's probably like the biggest issue I would see if you're going to have a knock on somebody that's, working in corporate America.
But it's just like what the caller said yesterday. White people only going to hire as much as they're supposed to hire of black people. They're only going to hire as much as they agreed to. That's it. No more than that. So we have to start working for ourselves. And we have to start creating work for the ones who's not going to get a job. And the ones who can work for the white man, work for the white man. And like you said, just funnel that money back into the black community and black community create stuff so these black people can funnel it back to the black community. We got to stop pointing fingers at each other saying who ain't doing what. It's all of us. It ain't one or the other. It's all of us. We all got to work together. And the black person that's inside this... See, what we got to understand about money, money is just handed from one hand to the next. That's how money works. So what you always got to try to figure out is, how can I get money from this group to come to this side? That's what the Chinese and the Arabs and everybody else do. They just try to figure out, how can I get, okay, the government gives black people a certain amount of money in various ways and shapes and forms. Now, we get the money, and that money goes to white people when it comes to your bills, your cable, your mortgage, and things of this nature. Then it goes to the Arabs in the nature of you putting gas in your car, you going to the corner store to get your blunts and things of this nature. It goes to the Chinese when you go into the liquor store to get your alcohol, when you go to the damn hair salon and you go to get your nails done. It goes to the Latino in some incidents when you go to your grocery store to buy food. Then as you dishing all this money out, back out to all these different groups, and these different groups now, they don't live amongst you. All those different ethnic groups that you see living in and working in your neighborhood, how many of y'all know how many kids they have? How many of y'all know where the kids go to school at? Are they a boy or a girl? What's the age range? That's because they don't live over there. So the money that y'all do bring in, that $1 trillion, it leaves the hood that quick because we don't realize that everybody understands except us that money transfers from one group to the next. So instead of us trying to figure out how to get money from one group back to over here, we keep on looking at money like in a weird way. And because we look at it in a weird way, it gets used against us. It's not our spirituality that getting used against us. It's not our ancient sciences and maths that the white man have and using it against us. It's our ignorance that's being used against us. And because we're ignorant, and look up the word ignorant, because we're ignorant to the game that's being played and ran on us, we keep being taken advantage of. All my hood niggas, all my hood females out there that already know what it is, if you walking around a square person, you're going to take advantage of the square person because they don't know no better. Right or wrong? Well, that's us. We walking around like squares amongst all these other ethnic groups. And every other ethnic group has the blueprint that is, sell it to the niggas, they'll buy anything. The only people that's not trying to make money is us. We got to start to change the way we think, change the narrative, and so we can do better for ourselves. And the black people that's working for that white person, y'all need to be working for that white person, working hard for that white person, move up in ranks. That way you're in a position where you can hire more black people. You see? That's how that works. It's not for you to turn around and walk away from it. It's for you to work it and make it benefit for your people. Go ahead, Funk.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, the first issue that I was really saying was like, you know, the money aspect, you know, the proceeds we make working. But like another issue within it, or what should really be an advantage is the access to the information that we have working in, you know, white society. You know, working banks, hospitals, you know, you can name it. You know, I can remember my time working, you know, with a bank and just seeing, like, different accounts like prime equity lines and like credit cards, and just like seeing how people had their accounts set up. And you know, that gave me a different perspective of money, you know, how people treat money, you know, the power aspect of money, you know, because I've seen customers call in and, you know, they had $100, $200 in fees, and, you know, normally the bank, you know, they might give you one back. They give you a $35 fee or something like that or whatever.
Right.
They might give you one of those back, you know, a couple, you know, maybe half of the fees if you're lucky. But those that had bigger accounts, and it wasn't so much the dollar balances, but they might have an equity line, they might have a home loan, a car loan, they might have like 3 or 4 things, and they'll go in there and just, hey, I'll pull all of this out. We get those fees back, and, you know. So, but, you know, I learned that being with the bank, just handling accounts, balancing my checkbook, and things like that. Like, I had an account prior to working there, but I never was into, you know, it's like a little savings account I had from, you know, a kid that my mother opened. So that was like my first experience with the bank, just learning how to, you know, write checks and just balance the checkbook, take care of my account, you know, make sure the money's in there, the different nuances of, you know, check card purchases, how they might not clear immediately. The money could go back into your account. So, you know, I learned a lot of different things. And so we have people that's in all the different industries, construction, health, you know, working at hospitals. I mean, we have to go in with the mind outside of, you know, just gathering a check. Because, again, a lot of us, you know, as I mentioned with the money, most of those points that we spend on are some things that we really couldn't change, like your rent. You might be in an area where all the buildings are owned by whites, you know, so you can't help it. So you say, hey, I try as much as I can to spend with black people. You know, I might buy my black soap, you know, from the guy, he's at the flea market, or you may try here and there, but the majority of your money is going to kind of go back in white society, especially if you're working there. But if you could bring the information from the job, you know, that offsets it a little bit. You can teach your people, you know, if you're in health, you can see those cases of, you know, people getting sick over certain things, and, you know, the effects of smoking and things like that. And you could really bring that to the people instead of it just being a job for you. You know what I'm saying? You work in the financial industry, you can help your people learn how to save money, how to invest. You know, investing in stocks, it doesn't take much to invest in, like, stocks and things like that. But, you know, small money, you can build your way up. So we have to extract it. We have to go in with a black mind to extract the information that we have available to us, and, you know, start disseminating it to the people. So that's probably like, you know, that's like issue number 2 in my book as to why it's kind of hard working in corporate America, but at the same time, you know, we can use that mind frame to put it to our advantage. We're not using it as an advantage, so, you know, you can say that that's a knock on working there, but we really can flip that around and, you know, start bringing the information to the people, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm looking at this this article. They're talking about black business.
Right.
So it says, August 2015, a mid-2015 report sponsored by American Express finds that black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the United States. Growth is driven in part by the discrimination black women face in the marketplace. It's a positive response to invest in yourself and start your own business. The highest concentration of their business is in Georgia, Illinois, and Maryland. But there is something special happening in Detroit, where the nonprofit Build Institute is helping black women to learn how to become successful business owners. While their students are not limited to women, women comprise 70% of the graduates. The success rate of all graduates testify to the fact that with training and support, everyone has the chance to create a productive life for themselves and others. So black women is out there doing their thing when it comes to the building business, and black women is out there doing their thing when it comes to working for the white man. So, you know, we know that it's hard for the brothers to get a job working for that white man, which is cool because, we supposed to be out here building businesses also. So if we have black women in business, black men in business, and majority of black women working for this white man, we'll be able to be generating money, which means taking money away from another group of people to have it come into your hand, and we'll be able to work for a salary from the white man and be able to generate that money and bring it back to the hood too. Instead of complaining about what we're not being given. You got to stop that because you know what? If you're waiting for somebody to give you something, you're going to be waiting for a long time.
Right. I mean, the ultimate mind frame is to have, black businesses. So it's, it's not saying like, oh, work for corporate America, it's going to be cool. You know what I'm saying? But we like, for example, you could take, like you just said that, like black women, they have a large percentage of businesses. They're the highest educated. You gave the numbers just now. So you can have your woman who's succeeding in corporate America, getting her money up, doing her thing, getting these promotions. She has money. So now, let's say she's in a black family. She has a husband and she has children. You know what I mean? But she just works. The husband could be running the side business. Whereas, you can have a woman who's working, she might be able to, let's say, do something like pay the bills. You have your husband who's out there hustling on the job front. Or it could be vice versa, because you have a lot of black men that's doing well in corporate America too. So your wife could be down there selling her soaps or whatever business she want to do. You taking care of all of the stressful part with the bills and things, and let that other person just be creative. And you take your money from corporate America and you just put it into building, your own thing. You might spend your lifetime working there, but you might have built that up for your kid. So your kid doesn't even have to go into corporate. He could do whatever he want to do. You can continue on your business. You might have funds to where he could start another business. This, the options for them is, it's endless pretty much. So, we got to just look at it like that in the sense of, we could be conscious, but, if you're really conscious, then you will, find a way to, to make it work, because we understand that, black America needs money. We need to use our money better, pretty much, you know what I mean? So we got to take the advantages that we have and use them instead of just, trying to recreate the wheel. Oh, everyone's going to have black businesses. No, we'll get there at some point. Let's take it step by step, you heard?
See, that's the whole shit, man, right there. Let's stop trying to recreate the wheel, man. It ain't hard, and we know what we got to do. A lot of times it's like we just scared because it's like, oh, we know what happened in the past. Okay, white people done did this, white people done did that. And you scared because you don't want to be the one to have to deal with that. You don't want to be the one to have to deal with if they drop a bomb or if they, do something or whatever. But guess what? The next option, if not to do something, is to suffer and die. So you might as well fight. You know what I'm saying? You might as well fight. You got these fake revolutionaries that'll tell you to pick up your gun and start killing people. And they'll say that's fighting. And then tell you there's no other way to fight outside of that. Well, I'm here to tell you they're wrong. Because unless you're telling me that white people love everybody except black Americans, then there's other ways to fight this system. Africans come to this country and develop an economy. Africans have Nollywood. They're not sitting around complaining about roles that Hollywood's not giving them. They created their own industry. Just like you said yesterday, Smoke, Tariq Nasheed, he's starting his own social media joint.
Right,
We're not sitting around. The power is not sitting around. The power is getting up and doing something. And what happened with us is we rather sit on our ass, not do nothing, and just gloat and talk about how nobody's giving us a chance, nobody's giving us a shot. But I could understand that if we gloated amongst ourselves also, but we don't. We'll fight amongst ourselves. We'll tell you in a heartbeat, I'm not letting nothing stop me. I'm not letting nobody hold me back or hold me down. But then when it comes to another race of people, we'll let that stop us. We'll turn around and get left behind and held back. So, you know, I don't get that. That's just weird to me, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, this is In Black America. Call-in number 646-716-4654. Press 1 if you want to talk. The title is Now That I'm Conscious, Should I Stop Working for the White Man? What do you think? What do you think? You think you got another option out here to quit your job and to get bread? What do you think? You're going to now run away from working and generating an income to sustain yourself and your family and your property? So you can't, what do you think? You think during the times of slavery when black people was getting paid? Don't think we wasn't getting paid, people, because black people was buying their families' freedom. So they was getting paid. So do you think when black people was working for white people during that time, we wasn't saving our money up, learning these skills, learning the game from white people? So during Reconstruction, we was able to build towns and cities and airports and bus stations and invent and create and sustain. Yeah, true indeed. They bombed us and they ran up in our shit and burnt down our towns and things of that nature. True indeed. But do you stop? That's the question. Do you stop? Or do you keep fighting?
I mean, you gotta also pose the question of, like, you know, because we don't have a lot of black businesses. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone would agree with that. So how will we raise the money to create these businesses? Because I can only think of two ways. You know what I mean? Like pulling it from the system.
Wait. What's the question again?
The question is, well, the statement is we all know that we don't have a lot of black businesses. So the question would be, how will we raise money to create these businesses?
How will we raise money to create the business?
Yeah. Like, how will we create it? If you want to say we're not going to work in white corporate America, how are you going to raise the money? Because we don't have the businesses established already, or not a lot of them, to say, hey.
To sustain ourselves.
Right. Because the only other way I can think of, and it's not putting, because I don't want to make it seem like we're putting that much importance on, because we know at the end of the day, our people, if we stand up, other people are going to need us instead of it being vice versa. But the only other way I can see outside of pulling money out of white corporate America for our people that work there would be criminality. And that hasn't worked for us. That has not worked for us in the past. You know what I mean? And it's not so much that we can't raise the money, but they, these court systems and things like that, they take us down. And so we got to think smarter. We got to be more, like you mentioned earlier, the scoop that sat by the door.
Yeah.
So we get these jobs and we work them. But guess what? It's a reason why we work them. We use the perks form to make yourself better, to make your family better, to make the community you live in better. If everybody's thinking like that, then that's an automatic improvement for the communities right there.
And because those people will support the organizations.
And Black America is an organization, and it accepts funding and donations. So if people are working for the white man, they take the information and the tips and the solutions that we provide over the Blog Talk Radio and other platforms, and they appreciate that. They decide to donate and fund. That funding ends up going into a black think tank that then use that funding to then create platforms and programs that will lead until rebuilding Black America again, in the sense of what it is that our people need. Well, okay, if we're going to boycott, let's start with things in our community. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's get the information on how to get these gas stations, how to open up a grocery store.
Right.
And with crowdfunding, with donations, with support, no different than the church getting 10%, with donations for the information, then these buildings could be erected into the communities where we get being starved out. Then we have a grocery store. This grocery store generates money and generates employment in that community. That grocery store in return buys another store, whether it be grocery, whether it be a laundromat. Because you keep buying the little stores in your community that other races have a monopoly on, like the dry cleaning, like the laundromat, like the liquor store, like the grocery store, like the corner store. Like, you know what I'm saying? We have to do that because once we get these little convenience, these little businesses that cater to our necessities to a certain degree, then we have a majority of our money staying in our community because these are things that the majority of these people are going to use, like a laundromat. A laundromat in a poor neighborhood generates a lot of money, and it's something that's always going to generate money. You see what I'm saying? So we could take over the laundromat, the grocery store. That's all of that money comes from the government through food stamps. So the money that the government gives through food stamps now will go through that card to your grocery store. And the black people that work for the white man that go to your grocery store, money goes to your grocery store. The proceeds of that, you end up buying other things, the liquor stores. Then as you keep getting and accumulating more and more money, then you can buy the properties and the land. And even eventually start an online bank for black people. But we have to start with one business to grow into another. You see?
Right. Definitely, man. I mean, we have to fund our upliftment, man. Pretty much. Man.
We have to.
Of course,
you
want to give money to where it's gonna count, man. Nobody else is gonna do it for us, man. You know, people talking about Bernie Sanders, and you know they're not talking about reparations, man. You know, none of the presidents is gonna help us. We already had Barack in it, and his 8 years have been crazy for us.
His 8 years is exactly what I thought it was gonna be.
So, I mean, you know, we had somebody that looked like us in there, so you can't even expect anyone else. You know, that was if you ain't believe it before, it's like, all right, you should know that now. You know what I mean? Nobody else is going to fund us. Nobody else is going to, everyone else is going to make money off of us. And until we say that we're going to, like, we just putting an end to that, it's always going to be like this for us, man. So we have to use whatever ways of we bring in capital and money into our communities as we can. You still have some people that might be under the criminality factor, but if they can fund back, you know, things in the community, it's like, all right, cool. Eventually we want to get rid of that. Yeah. But, I mean, I think at this point, man, we can't, short of selling ourselves out, you know, and people might have different perspectives of what they might think a sellout is. Like, they might think that's crazy. Oh, you take money from a drunk person or open up a liquor store, they might think that's crazy. You know what I mean? But I think, like, with the state of how we are now, we have to do as much as we can to, like, keep whatever money we're spending here within, you know, amongst us. We have to support ourselves in order to get out of the place we're in right now, man.
If we don't do it, who will? If we don't do it, who will? Right. This is In Black America. Guest calling number 646-716-4654. The title, Now That I'm Conscious, Should I Stop Working for the White Man? And, it's just a ridiculous thing. I hear a lot of so-called black lecturers on the scene, you know, disrespecting people who work and, you know, make comments and brag and laugh and things of this nature, but they get donations from those same people. So if you're going to disrespect me for working for the white man and brag and poke out your chest for working for the white man, then don't ask for none of that man money then. You know what I mean? My whole thing is this: instead of laughing at me for that, why don't you give me and empower me and let me know how to deal with it? Some ways to deal with it, which I like to tell black people, is when you're working for that white man, especially when you're working for corporate America, make sure you use every benefit that's available to and for you. When you're working for that white man and you got the opportunity for 401k, you make sure you maximize and you match dollar for dollar with the company. Don't sit there and say, I'm not going to get into my 401k because I need all my money and I ain't trying. No. Do your 401k and make sure you max it out. That way you get every dollar that the company was going to match. Whatever money you put in it, your company match up into a certain amount. You should put in up until that certain amount. Get all the money off the table. Because on average, you work 5 years. So to say you work at the job for 5 years, then you get fired, what you going to get, one more check? And then you asked out? Or would you get one more check plus your 401k? Think about that. People got to use their brain. You got to be smart.
Or that might be the time where you work and you build up enough in it to where it's like, all right, I can withdraw $5,000-$10,000 at a time or whatever, and start your business. So you're working in there. You sacrifice for your 3, 4, 5 years. You know, you're matching on your 401k. You put as much of that in there as you can. And, of course, you need a plan with it. It's like you're not just the money's there and you just go, you know, the match, the business is going to appear. So You know, that's being said already, but you could use that as an opportunity to launch yourself. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of advantages to it. It's just we have to recognize that. And a lot of the problem is we don't share information amongst ourselves. So it's like, you have somebody like me, I'll be working and I know about the 401k and I'm doing all that. I got a nice job and I'm making money, but I won't tell that to someone else. You know what I mean? I might automatically assume that, that you, Ross B, you know that already. So, you know what I mean? So we got to go, going back to what I was saying earlier, we got to share the information. You know that's the case. Because I know when I first started working, I heard of the 401k, but I'm like, I need all my bread. When my check come, I don't take nothing out. You know what I'm saying? And I knew, like, in hindsight, like, once I got the 401k and I started talking to other people, I felt left out. It's like all of my people that looked like me, they had it already. But the person that told me was a white dude. He like, man, you don't got a 401k? He's like, man, you crazy. He like came, we talking or whatever. He pulls up his account with his balance and everything on there. Like, man, look at this. This is how much I contributed. This is what I contributed last week. And he's doing the projections on there. And I'm looking like, oh, man, I'm missing out. I felt bad for the 6 months or however many months it was that I wasn't doing. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. Watch this real quick. So you at work, right? A white person at work puts you on the 401k and how it works.
Right.
The 401k ends up stacking your bread up. That should go to your retirement, but helps you out when you get older. It makes all this working for the white man worth it.
Right.
You learn this at work. Right. Talking to a white dude. No. I'm just saying. Hold on. I'm just saying that. So instead of you getting or having knowledge of self and saying, "Oh, I want to leave this workplace," that information you would have missed out on. You see what I'm saying? That's a system or an option in living here in America that you would have never been able to be afforded, because niggas that's not working can't talk 401k or health insurance. You see what I'm saying? So that's a benefit that some black people have, and an option that some black people have that other black people don't have. So you have the knowledge of self and working, you're able to get more information out here in these streets. You see what I'm saying? So you can't pass it back to the people. So I was just pointing that out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another benefit of working in this institution, is you get all the information that a lot of black people may not be privy to. Continue.
Yeah, because I was just going to say with, in my situation with the job that I was referring to with the 401k, I'm not employed there anymore. So when it was my time to transition from that job, I had funds in the 401k to hold me over until I started my next gig. So, it was a benefit in it. But, unfortunately, the information was passed to me by someone other than my kind. Which is cool. Information is information, you know what I'm saying? But, it benefited me. But I know I've told, everyone I know who works, like, hey, you got a 401k, you know what I mean? People that be around, you always going to mention that, especially if they just started working or might seem like the type that doesn't know about that, whatever that might mean. Your friends. You just ask them about it, make sure, It's just one benefit that can help you out in the long run. Because, who can't use extra money? And it's not just your money, it's the company matching it. So it's like you're getting a double hit for your money. So why not, man?
See, and that's important for the people that would be like, Yeah, I mean, I do 401k, but I don't match it. I do about 3% or 2%. I don't want them taking. I can't have them taking that much money. Yo, they take it. When they do that, they match. The more you put in there, the more they match. So instead of it being you put $1 and they put $1 and that's $2, no, you put $6, they put $6, that's $12. So that means your money bump up even quicker. That's one benefit. The second benefit is when you do that, it lowers how much money you make because it's before taxes. So what happened is when they take the money out to put into the 401k, it puts you in a lower tax bracket, which end up making less money come out of your taxes. So take advantage of these things. Yo, listen, the white man is the devil, cool, fine. America is wicked and should burn, cool, no problem with that. But at the same time, while we're here, take advantage of the options that is laid out for everybody so you can move up and do what you got to do. Just to sit here now and have an attitude and get mad and talk about how great the white man is through your insults of talking about how powerful he is and things of this nature, that's not helping. But what will help is you saying, you know what, I'm going to stack my bread. I'm going to look at how much money I make. I'm going to look at how much money leaves my house, and I'm going to figure out how to reverse that. Because the correct pattern for your money is less money leave the house, more money stay in the house. If you have a situation where more money leave your house and less money stay inside your house, I call that you have a hole in your pocket. And you need to figure out what's going on in your damn pocket, you see what I'm saying, with your funds, so you can cut these debts and lower it so you can have more money every time your bills have to be paid. You see what I'm saying? So these are tricks and steps and things that we have to do. This is how you better yourself. This is how you uplift yourself. You don't do that by sitting around complaining. Yo, listen, the white man holding me, fine, cool. Now that you understand that the white man is holding you down, now you should be trying to figure out, how do I get up? You shouldn't be still thinking about the white man holding you down. You already know, okay, he's holding you down. Now that we understand that, now we should be trying to figure out, how do I get him off me? You should never, ever, no more in your life mention that the white man's holding you down. Because once you say that, that means you acknowledge that. You acknowledge the problem. Now that you acknowledge your problem, you have to figure out the solution. This is In Black America. The topic is, now that I'm conscious, should I stop working for the white man? The guest call-in number, 646-716-4654. Press 1 to dial in, and let's see what you have to say about this. Let's see if you are a conscious person who's working for the white man, and it is difficult. Share your story, you know? If you're somebody who works for the white man, conscious, and you're like, listen, I don't let it bother me, share your story. But that's what it is, you know? That's what it is.
Yeah,
we can't.
Yeah, so I was just peeping the story on Black Enterprise or whatever. It was talking about, the title of it is Strategic Moves for a Rich Retirement. So, I mean, if you're retiring, I mean, you're working. And so, you know, most of the companies in America are, you know, white companies. So, you know, more than likely you're fitting into this. So I just read off a little bit off the article or whatever. Should I borrow from my retirement savings to help pay my children's college tuition? It's a question posed often to financial planners, and their response is a consistent no. There are many reasons why. The older you are, the more difficult it is to replace the money you have saved, especially in the era of layoffs and job uncertainty. Now, just in that little bit right there, it's like it comes on with a question of, should I borrow from my retirement savings to help pay for my children's college tuition? The financial planner says no in the article, for whatever his reasons are. But to me, that's the option. Whether you want to say yes or no, it's just like for you to say, I have the option of doing that. Oh, my car broke down. Should I pull from my retirement savings so I can get a car?
Well,
you know what I mean? So
wait, let me add another one. Let me add another one. I'm trying to get a house. Should I pull from my 401k? Because let's talk about the whole thing. When you pull from your 401k and you're still working, what happened is you don't get penalized.
Right.
Because what happened is you end up getting a lower check because you're automatically going to be paying back what you owe. The only time you get penalized is if you're not working there anymore. Then you're going to get penalized if you don't pay it back in, I think, 90 days or something like that, 30 to 90 days, depending on the company you work for. So if you're working, you can take and borrow against your 401k to invest, as in you take this money to the stock that you want to put it on, invest it, and you can flip 10,000 and make that into 50,000 or 60,000, then turn around, pay that back, because the percentage should be low. It's not going to be high percentage. It might be like 3%. So it's going to be a pretty low. Out of your check, it might be $80-something to $100-something out of each check. Your check will be short. So if you're not using it to buy clothes or something frivolous, if you use it to flip, you can take that money out, flip it, get off your flip, pay the interest back, and now you got you know what I'm saying? You got you 20,000. Let's say you got 60, you put it, now you got 50 up, and all your debts paid, and you can go get you a house, and you can pay up your car note and all that. You don't got nothing else to pay for, and you working. So you working and only have to pay for mortgage, light, gas, and water. That's what freedom sounds like. You know what I'm saying? When you ain't got all them bills like that.
Yeah, so like just to go a little bit further.
You got to be smart with that money. Because one more thing and I'll let you go. You got to be smart with that money or you're going to fuck around and be like 50 Cent. You heard about 50? You heard about him?
Yeah. You already know.
They're talking about 50 Cent writing broke with the money. They said 50 Cent was ordered to court after flashing cash online. So they like the rapper 50 Cent is headed back to court.
Oh, this is a new story.
Oh, yeah.
I hear about that.
Yeah.
That's how I'm brushing it off like, okay, I just thought you was being general about. Oh, now I got
no.
We can go back
they said the rapper 50 Cent is headed to court. I thought you already know about this story, yeah.
No,
but they said the rapper.
I didn't even refer to the story.
The rapper 50 Cent is headed to court to explain why he's declaring bankruptcy while posting pictures of himself surrounded by cash on Instagram. Yeah, and it was like the nigga doing that, and it's on all hip hop they already was talking about that. Like, why would you do that if you file bank? And here go his super fans. Oh, see, that nigga ain't broke. And I'm like, look, Dame Dash, being broke, filing bankruptcy is part of business. And I'm like, what? Filing bankruptcy is part of business? So my response to that was, filing bankruptcy is part of business, like filing for foreclosure is part of owning a house. Like, fuck out of here. That's stupid. So they go, Curtis Jackson filed for bankruptcy in July. He claimed that he still makes millions, but that a flood of expensive lawsuits is killing him. The guy who got famous for his 2003 album, Get Rich or Die Trying, has poked a lot of fun at his financial situation. But now U.S. bankruptcy judge Ann Naveen is worried the rapper is being outright dishonest. Since October, 50 Cent has posted several photographs on Instagram of him playing with cash. In one, he's in bed surrounded by dozens of stacks of $100 bills, easily $50,000 in that picture alone. In another, he stacks the Benjamins to spell out broke, B-R-O-K-E. In court on Thursday, the judge told the rapper's attorney, I'm concerned about allegations of non-disclosure or a lack of transparency in the case. CNN Money listens to audio recording of Hartford, Connecticut hearing. There's a purpose of having a bankruptcy process but be transparent. And if part of that process is to inspire confidence in the process, the judge said, adding the bankruptcy court is where an honest but unfortunate debtor can come into court and seek relief. When the process becomes very public, the need for transparency, I believe, is even higher, she told the rapper's lawyer. Judge Naveen ordered the rapper to show up in court on Friday. The rapper legal team issued a statement saying he would show up to make sure that all questions have been answered. Mr. Jackson has been forthcoming and transparent with all creditors, says his lawyer. This issue will be brought up in court papers filed in January by headphones maker Sleek Audio, SunTrust Bank, and 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend, Latanya Leviston, 3 claims in the bankruptcy case who says they owed a combined $29 million. Is Latanya Leviston, is that 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend, or is that Rick Ross?
Yeah, I think that's Rick Ross.
Yeah, because I thought 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend name was like started for S or some shit like that.
Yeah, I don't want to say that.
Yeah, I thought it was like shit something. Yeah,
but you know he owes 50 cents. Not 50 Cent. Rick Ross's baby mother. He owes her like $5 million from that case or whatever.
I think they're gonna say. Yeah, they said 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend, but not. I think that's Rick Ross, ex-chick. So there you go. They also point out that 50 Cent never admitted he owned property that he later disclosed on Instagram, saying, "My crib is almost finished in Africa. I'm gonna have the craziest housewarming party ever." This nigga, yo, that's why I got off that shit. The trio said the rapper,
Shaniqua Tompkins, that's his baby mother.
Yeah, Shaniqua, yeah. So this one is Rick Ross. But it's a CNN Money, so of course they're gonna get that wrong. But but that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is silly, y'all. Niggas is silly. Now you out there getting yourself more caught up in shit because you want to damn floss and flaunt while you dealing with the white man on some
city.
Yeah, that's it, stupid.
But shit, going back to the article or whatever, I just want to finish it up or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of, but So it was, it was a black enterprise. So they was talking about gentleman Reginald, and he was saying, I guess he's working with the fire department out in Virginia, and he had a quote. A lot of the information I got came from the advisors at the fire department. They said to put away money. If you can't put in the max, do something. That's what got me going. So it's like, they're doing this. So, but you go further, and they're saying, like, this might be another person in the story, but they have a son where they pulled out money to get a scholarship. Let me back up. The son, he's 25. He got a partial scholarship. And the couple, Reginald and his wife, they were able to take out another loan, and they were able to pay it off while the son was in college. So whatever he needed, they was able to take a loan out and pay for that. And this is all off for the 401k. Working for the white man, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we understand that, we lack in black businesses, but our people, a lot of our people, this is the reality that we face. So we have to make the best of it, you know what I'm saying, and build ourselves up, Yeah, so just to finish it off, they was just saying, like, they gave little 4 pointers at the end of the article. One of them was to start early, saving. And saying Reginald and Kim began saving for retirement early, stayed on track, and they each contributed enough to their respective 401k to get a full employer match. The second was seek advice. Both took advantage of employer-sponsored financial planners. So, if you, a lot of these companies, they offer, financial planners. They also handle, emotional planners. Emotional assistance, like you're ever getting overwhelmed with your job, you could go in and speak with people. But they give this a lot of times for free. So you could go in and speak to so-called professionals to, help get your money, get a better return on your money. And it was just saying determination and sacrifice are the key. Put one as luck. You take that for whatever you want, but the last point was determination and sacrifice. So, sometimes, you might have to cut out eating at lunch, spending $10 a day at a chain restaurant or whatever. But, just sacrifice, man. Stay determined, put your money away, get your plan together, and, you always have that there for hard times if, because we all fall on hard times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing about hard times is all about what you plan for, because them lunches, it costs a lot of money, especially the ones that eat the breakfast, buy breakfast and lunch, and you got to buy gas. So what happened is you don't realize that's a big chunk of your money. When you start cutting things out, and like I said, I call it, you got a hole in your pocket. Once you start to sew that hole up in your pocket, you have more money in your pocket. So when you're working for that white man, you're bringing home more money now. So now when it's time for you to say, I want to support black people, you have money to support black people. And it's not hurting you and your family. When it's time for you to stack your bread, get ownership, get business, okay, you say to yourself, I want to start a business. I like to bake cakes or whatever like that. You can borrow against your 401k at this job you was working for 10 years. You have to be smart with what your situation is. You can't sit there and just complain and bitch, and because really it's envy. Why are you mad that I work for the white man? Because you can't? You see what I'm saying? Why are you worrying about how I'm making my money? I'm not killing nobody. I'm not having nobody addicted to drugs. Build your business. That way, when I finish working for this white man, I can then come to your business and with this white man money support and patronize your business. It's time for the black man to start competing.
Exactly.
We're going to keep pushing that because that was a powerful statement from yesterday's caller. We got to compete. And when you compete, you don't knock the person that's getting the bread. You say, okay, you're coming home from work, great. Let me see what's going on. Okay, brothers and sisters coming. Okay, let's say the ones that do want to buy lunch still. Where they going to eat? They going to spend their money at another race. If you work in a white person neighborhood, 9 out of 10, you're spending your money in a corporation that is hiring white people, and the white people is there serving you your meals. So your money is going to them, making sure their kids have money for clothes and to go to college and to save up. While you're working and spending your bread. So you got to figure that shit out. So, Smoke, you want to take a break?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, we'll take a break, man. This is In Black America. Call-in number is 646-716-4654. Press 1 to talk, and we'll be right back.
Power transfer is complete. For our internal power, we come on vehicle at this time. 40 seconds away from the Apollo 11 liftoff. All the second stage tanks now pressurized. 35 seconds and counting. We are still to go with Apollo 11. 30 seconds.
In the name of Allah. And in the loving memory of Richard Anthony.
Like Ronda Rousey, talk a lot of shit on social media on Friday. Get that ass kicked Saturday, wake up Sunday ill and drowsy. Ducking through the airport Monday morning feeling lousy. Yup, these are the breaks. Yup, is it karma or is it fake? Yup, you know I'm rocking with the great. I told you motherfuckers, me and Destiny had a date. Look, I came in the game in the name of the messenger. On the inside of my black trick bag, I had a plethora. Electrified the pulse of the game at the core like Tesla, and penetrated every realm of society like Kissinger. Special officer flowers in the army of the Lord, commander of forgotten angels at home and abroad. It sure as the mother plane is the throne of Quran. I swear to go into the stone and come home with the sword. It's globally known. I float on the track like the Coast Guard. Every pigeon I spit is like a train or a postcard. It's magic the way I created fame out of folklore and got bigger than Tom Hanks when he was playing by the Zotar. I'm shining my light with the passion of the Christ haters. The force is awakened, I'm brandishing my lightsaber, staring in the mirror every morning as I pause, caressing the scars from the brawls and walls that this life gave us. Can I kick it? Yes you can. Can I kick it? Yes you can. Can I kick it? Yes you can. Drop a bomb on the ass on the man, son of man. Can I kick it? Yes you can. Can I kick it? Yes you can. Can I kick it? Yes you can. Drop a bomb on the ass on the man, son of man. This is blasphemy, James. This is blasphemy. I gave that little cockroach life and he blasted me. Niggas made all those memes and they laughed at me. It's World War III, motherfucker. The catastrophe. Watch the throne, my nigga. Watch the throne. How you gonna compare the king to a gnome? How you gonna compare Jango Fett to the clones? The game can celebrate today cause that's home.
He's got 11 Grammy nominations. Y'all not equal.
Man, fuck these white people. My grandmother died at 82 scrubbing floors, and niggas still running around begging for awards. Is he Jedi or is he Sith? Is he Neo in the Matrix or Mr. Smith? I might be on Periscope getting pissed, talking reckless, contemplating all our war with fifth. Can I kick it? Yes you can. Can I kick it? Yes you can. Can I kick it? Yes you can. Drop a bomb on the ass on the man, son of man. Can I kick it? Yes you can. Can I kick it?
Mama, light a candle. Allah sent me to smack fire out of Sample. I got nothing to lose, might as well take a gamble. I'm on the plantation, guns blazing like Django. I know you heard it all a million times, huh? The feeling gone now, and all you hear is rhymes, huh? George Zimmerman still walking around, huh? And Trayvon still laying in the ground, huh? I showed up to the game with no practice like Iverson. Now they wanna keep me in exile like Gaddafi, son. Cause they told me that the Rothschild ruled the world, so I went over to England like a black guard and got me one. Straight facts, I don't send no lies. Ask Tata, real black skin on fire. They scared of J-Lex, yeah, and men know why. Cause I might turn the rock to the N-O-I. Can I kick it?
Yo, in Black America, we back with the man Rasta B.
Stick smoking in the house.
And we're talking about being a conscious brother or sister working for the white man. How can you deal with that? How can you operate within that system? Basically, just do it. Look at it more so as the spook that sat behind the door. Get the information that we need, Joe, bring it back to the hood. Let us know what the new tricks are. Let us know what the new plans are. You know? Put us on. Be the ears and the eyes of the streets.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have that existence in corporate America until we start building our own businesses. You know what I'm saying? And then it'll be black corporate America. You know what I'm saying? But I was looking at like the census numbers. I think it was Small Business Census for like 2012, and it was saying like over 21 million. You know, it's 27 million roughly businesses in America at that time. 21 million of them is white businesses. So, you know, and it was roughly around 2 million for, you know, black African-American businesses as they listed. So you're looking at tenfold almost with black businesses. I mean, black businesses to white businesses. And that's not including the other ethnicities, the other races, you know what I'm saying, that have that you know, operate businesses in America. So, you know, we're going to be in that existence until we're able to build black corporate America, so to speak, or black businesses. So we have to find ways to enhance our status in there, and not so much in the sense of, you know, moving from lower end jobs to being the CEO. I mean, that's cool too. You always want to be at the top if you can, but we know the roadblocks in corporate America for black people, especially black men. So we got to just be smarter in the way we use the money we earn, knowledge we bring back to our community, and so forth. We're going to be in that existence, and if we don't find ways to you know, extract the money out and build our communities up, it'll be another 20, 30 years, 100 years in the existence of us working for others and then buying from others while our communities just dry out.
Yep, and that's what happens. It dries out, and then we don't do nothing. We just complain about it. Because this all goes back to the last caller's comment about we scared to compete. The business will dry out, and then we'll sit there and complain and get into our victimhood mind frame instead of competing and looking at this as an opportunity to build. We look at it as an opportunity to cry. So then other ethnic groups come into America, and then they look at this barren land called the ghetto, and they say, oh, shoot, I can open up a store here and I can just get food from Sam's Club and fill my shelves up with bulk items and overcharge the blacks here, and I can make double the money here. I don't need no distributor. I don't need, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll sit over here now, we'll buy from this store and say, look, we don't got to go all the way across town for a grocery store no more. This Arab or person of color, the other trick, they just open up a store here. So then we'll jump on that, and then it's like, why didn't one of us decide to open up a store here to serve our people? Then we'll hear, oh, because black people don't support black people. So you didn't open up a store? Because black people don't support black people? Even though black people are the biggest consumers in America? You let a narrative stop you from opening up a grocery store in a neighborhood that's in a food desert, a food drought? That's crazy. It just don't make sense. So here's a sister. She's the president of Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Science. Her name is Cheryl Boone Isaacs. Her education, classical high school, Springfield, Massachusetts, class of 1967. She said she was an average student and outgoing. She was an extrovert. She went to Whittier College in Whittier, California, or Whittier College in Whittier, California, class of 1971. Then her work experience, 1977 to 1978, she was a publicist at Columbia Pictures. She said, my brother was a successful film executive at 20th Century Fox, and his world seemed so glamorous and fun, so I drove to L.A. and knocked on the doors. This is a black woman. So her brother, who was a black man, was a successful film executive at 20th Century Fox in the late 70s. So she's a publicist at Columbia Pictures from 1977 to 1978. From 1978 to 1983, she's into advertising and publicity coordinator, vice president, Melvin Simons Production. She says, I learned every aspect of marketing and distribution. We did love distribution. We did Love at First Bite with George Hamilton, the stuntman, and Porky's. That was the most profitable. So this is her talking about her rising up into this white man's corporation. 1983 to 1984, she's the executive director for advertising and publicity, the Ladd Company. The company folded after a year, or I'll probably still be there. I'm still close to Adam Ladd Jr., the guy that had the business. 1984 to 1997. Director, VP, SVP, EVP of Worldwide Publicity, Paramount Pictures. 1997 to 1999, President for Theatrical Marketing, New Line Cinema. 1999 to 2005, and then 2009 to present. She's the president, CBI Enterprise. But in 2005 to 2008, she was the co-owner of Target Approach. I teamed up with a colleague from Paramount on a film marketing company. It didn't pan out, but
was still a good experience. And then in 2013 up until now, she's the president, Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Science. In 2016, the Academy announced initiative to diversify its largely white male membership base. From a statement released on January 18th, this is a difficult but important conversation, and it's time for big changes. So, in her life lessons, oh shit, never mind. I'll leave her life lessons alone. I should have read that one. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying, she doing what she do, you know what I'm saying? And it's just showing you that, you know, this is a black woman in the early 70s. She's here for the Academy and the motion pictures and things of this nature. There are black people in the mix. But we're going to use her as an example because it says, because I'm going to read what the life lesson was. What she said was, early on, put your head down, learn as much as you can, and look up in 10 years. And then number 2 is, when things are not moving favorably for you, think about what's positive and how you can build on it. And number 3, be totally responsive and present while you're working. So the whole thing is with her is pretty much just work and do your job, learn as much as you can, and and work your way and maneuver to get into the higher positions of what you're trying to do. Now, what I would say is about that, with the consciousness aspect of it, you could be in the same position. I wouldn't say put your head down, but I would definitely say learn as much as you can, and then apply that to build upon blackness. Bring that information and knowledge back to the hood so brothers and sisters out there can know what to do. That's how working for that white man benefits us while you're a conscious person. You know? So.
That's good, man. That's really good. We can't just jump out the window, man. Go live in the woods and live off the grid and do shit like that. We have to be realistic about the tools that we have at hand and how we gonna use them, you know what I mean? I mean, that was a good example of, like you said, a sister just moving up and working hard and just achieving something. But, I mean, the thing is like, if you're gonna invest your time in the workplace, do it for a reason. Do it, so you can have a certain outcome. And that's really what it's more so about, you know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, if we want to say, do I want to work in white society, or just have a white boss in that sense, you know what I mean? Of course, you're gonna say no, especially if you're someone who's conscious. You're like, man, I want to work for my people. I want to work for myself. But that's not the case, man. A lot of us don't have it, and so we just got to be smarter. Because I mean, sometimes conscious people we out-conscious ourselves. We overconscious. Like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? We know what we got to do, but it's like, all right, you read a book and you just want to leave the earth, and it's like, all right, we got to live in reality too. It's like we here, we know what we facing, we know the tools that we got, we know the opportunities that we have. We got to make the best of while building our community, building ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Building the black family. You know what I'm saying? Building black consciousness among our people. You know what I'm saying? We always got to do that. But we got to use the tools also that's here. You know what I mean? We got to be smart, man. We conscious. So it's like, we can play the role of a fool while being a wise man, you know what I'm saying, to get what you need. You just got to do it, man.
We're in the middle of a war. We're in the middle of a war. Yesterday I read to you that the SPLC labels groups, hate groups, not based off of criminality and not based off of violence.
It's based off your rhetoric and how much influence you have. So it's better to play that fool and behind the scenes work to build what you're trying to build. And once you build and got your weapon to stand up against that white man, then you go and you compete. But I'll tell you one thing, before any of y'all black people talk about trying to stand up to a white man, stand up to that Arab first. Stand up to that East Indian first. Stand up to that Chinese man first. Really stand up to that Chinese man first. Stand up to his ass first. Stop eating that nasty-ass food that they give you. These people eat roaches, cats, dogs, crickets. Y'all eating from bums. Y'all eating from people that have a homeless man's diet. And y'all going to sit over there now and screw your face up because the African got food or because the West Indian got food and say, I don't know what that is. I don't know how that's going to taste. But none of y'all ask what the hell is an orange chicken. None of y'all just giggle and laugh when black people say, yo, this shit don't even taste like chicken, but it's good. Y'all laugh when y'all don't even see no trucks deliver food inside of a Chinese restaurant. Y'all just see food coming out of a Chinese restaurant. Y'all need to open your eyes, man, and stop playing stupid. Because that's what's keeping you messed up out here in this game, and that's why everybody keep taking advantage of you. Because you're running around playing stupid. And just like Jay-Z said, once you tag lame in the game, it's follow the leader. You see what I'm saying? Once you tag lame in the game, it's follow the leader. And that's what happened to us. Once people start to see that we all talk and there's no action behind us, everybody is coming to this country taking advantage of us. And we keep screaming the white man because the old funky-ass civil rights niggas keep screaming that white man shit. But it ain't even the white man fucking with us. It's all the other ethnic groups out here that's fucking with us. You got Mexicans riding down on niggas in L.A., pushing them further and further out of counties and things of this nature, and we sitting around talking about the white man. Man, we better open our eyes and figure this shit out. We sitting over here. I remember when Mexicans was working for the white man in the lawn care. Now the Mexicans are the ones that hold down the lawn care industry. You see what I'm saying? So what are we talking about? I remember when Sisters was doing black women hair. Now it's Dominican women doing black women hair? What are we talking? We're giving away our job opportunities to other groups who, if it wasn't for us patronizing their businesses, they would not even have a goddamn industry. They wouldn't even have a job. Yeah, they wouldn't even have a job. They wouldn't even be making money if we didn't support their shit. You don't see them in a white neighborhood. If they went to a white neighborhood, you know what white people are going to do? Not shop in that neighborhood, in that store. That's what white people are going to do. And not think nothing of it. Black people, we'll go and shop there because we don't want to see race, we don't want to see color, and we don't want to stick to the damn objective. The objective is standing up in black power, then we all have to practice that unapologetically. Straight up. We can't be sitting over here making excuses and saying to ourselves, well, you know what I'm saying, you know, I don't want to come off like a racist or whatever. Racism, just like the caller said yesterday, racism have nothing to do with likes and dislikes. But if you're a black person and you know that this person in your neighborhood who's making money off your neighborhood would not hire you, or hire somebody else black in your neighborhood, gonna hire your child, when you're sitting over here telling your child, yo, you need to get you a job.
Your child got to tell you, yo, nobody's hiring. When you go to the corner store, you're supposed to go to the corner store and say, yo, Poppy, yo, Habib or whatever, yo, my son looking for a job, yo. I can't hire him to stock the shelves or nothing? Oh, no, we ain't got no business here. We ain't got... Oh, word? Then you look around and you see, oh, I don't see nobody here, black work here. What? No doubt. And then you tell all the black people in your neighborhood, yo, we're not supporting this Habib store no more. We starving him out. You can't eat over here. We starving him out. But see, y'all won't do that because y'all too busy moving incorrectly instead of trying to move correctly. Y'all would do that against your brother. Y'all mash down on your brother. Y'all starve out your sister. Y'all starve out your baby mother. Y'all starve her out with your kids. But you ain't going to do that to the Arab. You ain't going to do that to that Chinese man. That Chinese man don't even talk to you. That's how ill he is. That Chinese man will open up his restaurant in your community and tell you he don't understand your language. Only thing he understands is give me money and get out of my store.
He understands how much of shit costs, you know what I mean? We got to be more serious about our upliftment, man. We got to be more determined, you know what I mean? We got to be disciplined. I know it's hard, you know what I mean? I speak from a person who, you know what I'm saying, eat Chinese food and did things like that. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I understand it. You know what I mean? It's easy. They're in the places that, you know, it's convenient for you. Stay in your home. They're right up the street. We understand that, but we have to be more serious about how we approach it, man. How we spend our money. Because all they doing is bleeding the community. And it ain't their fault. They getting money. It's on us. It's on us to say, hey, all right, y'all can't sell over there. Like you say, you bleed out your baby mother, you bleed out the dope man when y'all, you know what I'm saying? When you're in the streets. But, you know, we got to be serious for our listeners. We
look, the trap nigga on the street. The trap nigga on the street, he on your block selling, you'll run up on him and be like, nigga, if I see you over here tomorrow, I'm lighting this whole area up, nigga. You ain't making money on this corner. But the Chinese man could curse you out, sell rat, cat, and dog to you, and the only thing you can do is you don't do shit. You just buy from him, and that's it. You ain't trying to shut him down. You got the Arabs opening up chicken spots in your neighborhood. Like, niggas don't know how to fry chicken. You telling me that a nigga can't open up a building and fry chicken out of it? I don't eat meat, so I don't know what else they sell in them chicken spots. But I just be seeing niggas walking out with chicken. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow, you mean to tell me a nigga can't drop some fucking chicken inside of oil and sell that shit to niggas? We gotta let an Arab do that for you? We gotta let a Chinese man to sell you cat, rat, and dog? Come on, man. That's crazy. But then I'm not gonna eat from an African because I don't know what they eat. And I ain't gonna eat from a West Indian because I don't know what they eat. But I'm gonna eat from a Chinese man who eat cat, rat, and dog. I'm gonna eat from the fucking halal spot. You know what I'm saying? And get that halal meat that just spinning around in the circle in the heat and the light, keeping it hot. And the man just chopped that shit up. You don't know what the hell type of meat that is. You don't know how long that meat was there. Yeah, every time I used to see that shit as a kid, I used to be like, what the fuck is these niggas eating? Who the hell just have meat just circling in the light all day?
and you just walk in the corner store and just ask for somebody. Yo, that shit is weird, yo. And we'll eat that shit. We'll eat all that bullshit, yo. We'll eat that shit, but then diss somebody for working for the white man.
Hey, man. Our people.
That shit crazy, yeah. Yeah, that shit crazy. So I just be sitting over here just wondering, you know what I'm saying? Like, only a certain amount of black people, white people got to hire. Then the black people that's hired, you got to salute them for being hired. You see what I'm saying? You got to make them conscious. We have to infiltrate the 85ers. We have to. We can't just muddle around the 5 all day, or the 5 attacking the 10. Yeah, we have to interact with them 85ers and flip them, because they the ones that's in it. Each one teach one, and then we benefit when we all know. You see what I'm saying? We benefit when we all know. So, you know. So why don't you tell me some experiences for you working for the white man?
I mean, when you're talking about just, all right, I mean, how can I say it? I mean, my experience working there is, personally, I mean, I'm a rather reserved person at work. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm not so much interacting with everybody. You know what I mean? I have friends and, you know, associates at work or whatever. So, you know, I'm to myself. I don't cause trouble, so to speak. You know, I'm not in there, you know, always protesting something. But at the same time, it's like I know my rights within the job, you know, inside the workplace. So, you know, I'll move according to that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let them overstep their boundaries and so forth. So I feel like, you know, I play my role within corporate America. The problem I always have with it is that being conscious, you see kind of like the roadblocks that they put in front of you. So I mean, you can assume and say, you know what, because I have white managers. You know, I've had, you know, black supervisors and so forth. You know, the big dogs, so to speak, they're all white. And so, you know, a lot of times I see, like, you know, the roadblocks that I know I face. When I speak to other black men, I know they face them too. So I understand that I might not necessarily get the highest position here. So personally, I'm not shooting for that. I know what I'm not necessarily capable of, because I know I can be a manager there at my job. You know, I could be a CEO. I can do all that. I put my mind to it, but I know the box that they try to put me in, and so I know what I can work with inside that box. So I have to try to make the job work for me. Now, a lot of times, because, you know, within the community, we don't share information with each other. We don't have, like, mentors, so to speak, you know, like big brothers coming out like, yeah, man, this is how it works, you know what I'm saying? So this is all figuring stuff out. You know, I didn't come working in there like, man, this is what they be doing, this is that. I see, you know, I peeped everything. Nah, you know, you figure it out over time. So, I mean, for me, it's just that. I know what, especially working in my current job, I know what they would allow me to do. So I look at what I'm allowed to do in there, and I try to look at the advantages in there. Try to make my money within there, stay within myself, not let the company step over their bounds as an employer. and that's it, man. You know, that's how I view, or that's how my experiences make me view corporate America. You know what I mean?
Right. So your whole thing is pretty much just stay out their way and just move within there and get your bread. So.
Right. Cause see, like I'm gonna say this, because you have you'll have like you know, the employees in there, whether they white or black or anything, they know how the system is, but they're consistently pushing to make it, whether it might be a better process or anything, or, you know, they might want a better work schedule, they might want a better workload, so they're always pushing. You know, they're going to the top, they're jumping over people to, you know, try to get things done, resolve, or, you know, whatever they perceive to be an issue, they want that resolved. They're gung-ho. They're not letting anything pass them without speaking about it.
Right.
But a lot of times you'll see those are the people that they ruffle the wrong feathers, and then you're not working no more. You're the first person that they let go. So again, it's not saying that, all right, you know, you don't say anything, you don't stand up for yourself, because, you know, we've had those issues. We see people get fired all the time for standing up for themselves. But you'll have people that are just, you know, they'll try to push a certain result, knowing that, you know, the company's not even going to do this for you. You know what I mean? It's like you bugging.
Right.
And then you have the totally timid person who just works. They're fine with whatever changes is made in there. But what you'll see what the companies do with them is they're going to overwork them, knowing that they're not going to push back. Like, yeah, we're going to need you to come in on Saturday. Like, I don't work Saturday. You know, they'll put a full load of work on your table, knowing that you're going to do your best to work that. And if you don't finish it, you might come in for overtime, things like that. So it's different dynamics, you know. So I try to stay in the middle. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not going to get away with pushing me over. But at the same time, I know my goal here is to make money, whatever extras I have from outside of my normal living, you know, things I got to take care of, my son, my family, whatever, then I'm trying to make that, the rest of that money turn. If I can make some extras in there, cool. But I know what I've seen within the company, you know, I take it for what it is, you know what I'm saying? I try to stay in that middle ground.
No, that makes sense, because at the end of the day, it's all about taking care of your family, taking care of yourself. So if you can have that option to do that, do that. It doesn't make sense to be in a position where you can benefit off of working for somebody and getting a check and maneuver in that level and fight your way out of that because you feel a certain way. It's like you might as well work within that, because, again, there's a lot, depending on the job you work at especially, there's a lot of information you could bring back to the hood. You could be a teacher and you getting tenure and working as a teacher, all the different things and changes that's been implemented in the teachers, that realm, you can bring that back to the hood so we know. And it's like, listen, they're trying to do this, but guess what? This is how we can counter it, just like this. Good looks. Now we know. You see what I'm saying? You can be in corporate America, like I said, and find out, yo, they're going to start to make it where they're going to check the drugs you take. All that Adderall and all that shit like that. And they're going to use that against hiring you. But now that I know that, I pass that on to the people. Now my people know. Y'all might not see it now, but you're going to see it soon. So at the end of the day, it's not about what you're doing. It's about you conscious. So use your conscious brain to figure out how that can help and benefit your people, the information that you have. Right, don't sit there and feel a certain way because you're working for the white man, so you feel like you selling out or you're lowering yourself if you play the work game or anything of that nature. No. You're the spook that sat behind the door. We need you. We don't need you to get fired. We need you to get higher in that institution so you can keep that door open to allow more black people in there to get that. That way the black people who can't, it's time for y'all to start creating the businesses now. Use all that street hustle you have and use that inside to create an industry where you can compete against these whites and these Chinese and these this and these that, instead of always want to compete against your brother. There's going to be a time we don't have to work for that white man. But until we get to that time, let's not knock the ones that do. Straight up.
Yeah. You just got to empower them, man. You know what I mean? Empower the people that's working to use their smarts, man. Do everything that we just spoke about. You know what I'm saying? The conscious people, the unconscious. Yo, let's start making them all work together. We all got to pool our money together regardless of how we getting it. Got to use the resources, you know, that we have, man. So, like you said, you can't knock them, man. Don't be down about it, man. Just use what you have to make your life better. And if your goal is one day to own a black business, make it happen. If you just want to work for a black boss, hey, go look for them. You know, look for those jobs or whatever. They'll come soon. But yeah, just stay smart, man. Stay smart within that white system. Get your money. Take care of your family. And just remain conscious, man. Keep building yourself up, man. Nobody can knock that, man. Nobody can knock that.
And don't forget to donate to your organization, blog talk site. People that's opening your eyes and giving you the right information to operate in this system. Because once you do that and that's happening, then you can get that information and you know that you're donating and supporting a cause that is helping the community and things of that nature. You know, don't let it affect you. You got to remember, it's not just black people. It's all races in the United States that is using this system to come up, not just black people. So if other groups of people is out here using this system to come up, then why shouldn't you use the system also when you've been here the longest? Why should you continuously throw away opportunities that is afforded to you because you're being talked out of doing it? Oh, you selling out. Oh, you got to change your voice and oh, this and all that. No, don't get caught up in that dumb shit. But I'm going to show you something. I'm going to read something from the selected writings and speeches of Marcus Garvey. This is what I wanted to read the other day, but I can't find it. It's on the topic of unemployment. This is Liberty Hall, New York City, inside the Negro World, February 26, 1921. Okay, so I just want to get into the meat of what he's speaking of. So he says, men everywhere was unemployed, and even the peons and the serfs of the South broke loose from the South and ran north where these great industry opportunities had opened up themselves for each and everyone. Men came from the West Indies. Men came from all parts of the world to America to enjoy the benefits of the new industrial opportunities offered in America. These opportunities opened up larger and larger, and out of the wealth that was poured out of the Great War, some of the people who enjoyed the distribution of the wealth conserved the portion that they got or received, such as the Jews, the Italians, the Irish, and the Poles. Their leaders in the pulpits through periodicals, through magazines, and from platforms and classrooms, taught their respective groups the value of conserving the wealth that was then poured out into their pockets in the form of salaries and wages to prepare for the rainy day that would come. Negroes, however, in the most loose, the most slack, the most indifferent manner, received their portion of the wealth that was poured out, and they made absolutely no effort to conserve it. They distributed as quickly as they received it. They paid it out back to the employer or to his friend or to his brother or some of his relatives as quickly as they received it from him. Again, this is before the Chinaman and the Arab and everybody else came into your community. This is 1921 when Marcus Garvey made this speech. Again, this is 1921 when Marcus Garvey made this speech. 21. We're in 2016. 4 more years will be 2020. 5 more years will be 2021, meaning 100 years would have went by and we still doing the same stupid shit. They said the Negro, however, in the most loose, the most slack, the most indifferent manner, received their portion of the wealth that was poured out, and they made absolutely no effort to conserve it. They distributed it as quickly as they received. They paid it out back to the employer, the person that paid them. That guy got money back to him in some way or fashion. Because, again, that's how money works. Money and business work. It's how can I get the money out of your hand and put it into my hand. They distributed it as quickly as they received it. It went back to the employer, or it went to the employer's friend, or it went to the employer's brother, or it went to some of the employer's relatives. So the money that the employer gave you, the money that the government gives you, you spread it out amongst other people that's down with the same government, down with the same people. So they said as quickly as they received it from him, the employer, and just as at the time, a large number of the leaders of the country said nothing. They had no advice to give. The preachers said nothing, and they gave no advice to the people. Okay? They was never taught preparedness. They was never taught to conserve their money. They was never taught to build an economy. That's coming from their leaders, so-called leaders. That's what's coming from their preachers in their preacher homes. You see what I'm saying? This is how we're being taught, is to be like this. And since we didn't have no doctrine for industry, we was not had no economic preparedness. When the Great Depression happened, we starved. We starved. So we have to, this is almost 100 years ago. So we was all getting the same amount of money as all these other races. But guess what? Their leaders in their community taught them what to do. They didn't teach us what to do. And that's why we got caught up in how we get caught up all the time, you know what I mean?
Well, so.
I was looking for this yesterday.
On point.
Yeah, I was looking for that yesterday.
It always comes around when needed.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what the whole shit's about, man. It's like, yo, we have to be able to build our reality up. And our reality ain't gonna be built up if we walking around bitching about how somebody treat us. And I always ask people, yo, how do you think you would treat somebody who can't take care of themselves? You see what I'm saying? You telling me that you wouldn't exploit a group of people that had nothing but talent but didn't know what to do with it? You wouldn't exploit them? We live in a capitalist society. Okay, we're being exploited. You know how you get out of being exploited? By saying I'm not going to be exploited no more and standing up.
Wow. Power in the people. Power in the
That's
people.
it. And that's more than just talking. Power is with action. That's our problem. We want to talk power, revolution through just talking with no action. Give these people a solution. Let them know how to get out of debt. Let them know how to build their credit back up. Let them know everything that we know. But no, we go around, we keep these things a secret. We don't want to tell nobody nothing. So then our people suffer. They suffer from ignorance. They suffer from ignorance, and that's the whole thing. We have to know. You know what I'm saying? We have to. It's strategy. But niggas think strategy is. Yeah, see, but niggas think strategy is living off the grid, living inside the damn in the forest and shit. You know what I'm saying? They think every day in the forest. Or they want to sit there and listen to their preacher man talk and all kind of stuff like that. So here's another thing I want to talk about with the preacher man. So the Reconstruction period, this is the year, this is from Up From Slavery, Booker T. Washington. The years from 1867 to 1878, I think may be called the period of Reconstruction. So they talk about how they're being taught how to read and things of this nature. So they go into, I'm going to get into the meat of it. So they go, naturally, most of our people who received some little education became teachers or preachers, while among these two classes there were many capable, earnest, godly men and women. Still, a large proportion took up teaching or preaching as an easy way to make a living. Many became teachers who could do little more than write their name. I remember there came into our neighborhoods one of this class who was in search of a school to teach, and the question across while he was there as to the shape of the earth, and he would teach the children concerning that subject. He explained his position in the matter by saying that he was prepared to teach that the earth was either flat or round, according to the preference of a majority of his patrons. Ain't that some funny shit that this ignorant teacher was ready to teach that the earth is either flat or round in the 1800s, and now you got B.O.B. running around talking about the earth is flat in 2016.
Yeah, that's a whole new wave that's going on. You got what's the other John as we talking? Tila Tequila. Talking about that shit. Yeah, on that. I forget the
I don't even know she was still alive. I don't even know she was still alive. So I said, so the ministry, bugging, but she ain't even worth mentioning. So the ministry was the profession that suffered most. The ministry was the profession that suffered most, and still suffers. Though there has been great improvement on account of not only ignorant, but in many cases, immoral men who claimed that they were, quote-unquote, called to preach. In the early days of freedom, almost every colored man who learned to read would receive a, quote-unquote, a call to preach within a few days after he began reading. At my home in West Virginia, the process of being called to the ministry was a very interesting one. Usually the call came when the individual was sitting in church. Without warning, the one cord would fall upon the floor as if struck by a bullet and would lie there for hours, speechless and motionless. Then the news would spread all through the neighborhood that this individual had received a quote-unquote call. If he were inclined to resist the summons, he would fall or be made to fall a second or third time. In the end, he always yielded to the call. While I wanted an education badly, I confess that in my youth, I had a fear that when I had learned to read and write well, I would receive one of these quote-unquote calls. But for some reason, my call never came. When we add the number of wholly ignorant men who preached or exhorted to that of those who possess something of an education, it can be seen at a glance that the supply of ministers was large. In fact, some time ago, I knew a certain church that had a total membership of about 218 of them. Of that number was ministers. But I repeat, in many communities in the South, the character of the ministry is being improved. And I believe that within the next 2 or 3 decades, a large portion of the unworthy ones will have disappeared. So it's funny that in the late 1800s, Booker T. Washington thinks that in about 2-3 decades, 30 years, 20 to 30 years, that the immoral preachers would disappear. And we live in 2016 where we know these niggas is running the show. They running this motherfucker like it ain't shit.
300 years, that's crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to show you what's even crazier, too, even to get back into that. In Africa, the government is cracking down on charismatic churches professing miracles and cures. Because that's what they get down with in Africa, the miracles and cures. And in America, we get down with prosperity churches now. So they say, led by charismatic preachers and yeah, really. Theatrics and shit. Led by charismatic preachers and self-proclaimed prophets, African churches are swelling with promises of miracle healing, signs, and wonders. But in recent months, governments across the continent are trying to rein in these churches. Africa's experience with Christianity has, for the most part, been positive. About 63% of Africans identify as Christians, and Christian denominations founded
and still run schools and hospitals. They have played critical roles in helping the communities keep communities together and stitching together a fray of social fabrics. But while trying not to trample on religious freedom, governments are increasingly frustrated with tales of clergy fleecing their followers and or proposing a raft of new measures to protest unsuspecting church members from corrupt or immoral schemes. Take Kenya. Recently, a Nairobi pastor banned women from wearing undergarments and bras to church. The reverend argued that women should be free in body and spirit to receive Jesus. Another Kenyan pastor, he admitted a scheme whereby followers was asked to pay him in return for his cleansing them of their sins. A proof their sins was forgiven, the pastor said the water in a miracle basin would turn red after he prayed over it. Later, church leaders admitted adding chemicals to the water. Or take South Africa. Last year, a pastor in Pretoria made members of his congregation strip naked and roll on their backs as he prayed for them. Another Pretoria pastor made his congregation drink petrol and eat grass. I remember this one, because I remember the eating grass part. He's based in northern Pretoria, capped it all when there's another pastor who capped it all when he declared a live snake a chocolate bar and commanded the congregation to eat it. So, you know, these guys is out here taking advantage of the ignorance of the people with this church shit.
A lot of trickery, man. That shit crazy.
Yeah, but then you got to think about how your mind is, you know what I'm saying, where you're so in depth into a story that you will suspend reality just to believe. You know what I'm saying? That's just weird, man. That's just weird, but at the end of the day, we damn sure got to smarten up, yo. We got to smarten up. We got to do better. We got to move right. We got to fight. We got to compete. We got to stand up. We have to stop, you know what I'm saying, being cowards, yo, and making excuses and listening to people that want to make excuses for us or make us believe that these excuses and narratives are real. We got to stop listening to black people and black leaders or black lecturers, especially ones that refer to themselves as brown. We're not brown, we're black people. So I should never hear a black person refer to themselves as brown or dark brown. I question that. You know what I'm saying? I question black people that talk revolutionary pro-blackness, but everything that come out their mouth is how strong and powerful the white man is and why we can't do nothing. I question that. I question people that would insult a black person that is working for a white person. That means you don't know your history, because that's when